Towner Breeze is one of the latest BTO projects in the Kallang Whampoa area. Initially, I thought this project would be classified as a prime project because of its location, but HDB ended up categorizing this as a plus project. Having said that, actually the difference between a prime and plus project is not that much. Both are still subject to a 10-year MOP, cannot rent out the whole unit even after MOP, income ceiling for the future buyers, cannot sell to PR couples, etc. The minor difference is just the subsidy recovery rate, as Towner Breeze is subjected to 8% subsidy clawback and Crawford Heights is subjected to a 9% subsidy recovery as a prime project. Now let's talk about pricing. You can see the price range here excludes grants, and I have also added the price after grant. To help you assess whether these BTO prices are reasonable or not, I have also added the transacted prices of nearby resale flats of similar types. Feel free to pause the video if you want to see the numbers in detail. There's no comparable resale flat nearby for 2-room flexi, but for 4-room flat, the price gap between the highest BTO price versus the highest resale flat in the same area is quite significant, almost $500,000. So the percentage of price gap is also relatively big. For example, for a 4-room flat, the gap is 65%, so you have a very healthy margin despite of the 8% subsidy recovery rate. It's not exactly estimated gross profit because this is the price of today's resale flat and not the future price after MOP. But assuming the housing price in Singapore will continue to increase, this will give you a rough idea of the potential profitability of this project. It's not a surprise that the flat prices at Towner Breeze are high, primarily because of its location. But the potential profit is still lucrative when you see the resale flat transaction prices in the area. In fact, compared to other projects in this batch, you can see that in theory, Towner Breeze has a very promising profit potential if we look at the 4-room flat as an example. The waiting time will be 48 months, which is not the fastest but not the slowest either. St. George HDB is just across the Whampoa River, and based on recent transaction prices, a 4-room resale here is already selling for around $1 million. So, assuming this new BTO will be under construction for another 4 to 5 years, then you need to wait for another 10 years to finish the MOP. It is almost certain that in 15 years from now, the resale price of this BTO will be more than $1 million. Unless the government has some wicked cooling measures coming, this project I think will be a $1 million flat producer. Now, let's talk about the location. The site is a cul-de-sac sandwich between May Road and the Central Expressway. If we go to Google Earth, I think this is the land parcel. Initially, I thought we will be able to view the Sungai Whampoa and it can be a selling point, but based on the Google Street View, well, this is more of a canal and not really a competitive advantage. This project will only offer 2-room flexi and 4-room flat, so there's no 3-room or 5-room flat here. I think the main selling point is the location. Quite a lot of amenities. If you walk a little bit to the right, you have Sheng Siong Supermarket, and if you go to the left towards Whampoa, you can go to FairPrice, food courts, banks, and plenty of neighborhood shops around here. And across the expressway, you would be able to find the Whampoa Community Club, hardware store, and many more. In fact, on the project itself, HDB is allocating space for food court along with a preschool, so you can just go downstairs. If you are wondering where is the MRT station, I think the nearest one is this one, Boon Keng MRT station. It's not super close, but it is still within walking distance. Alternatively, of course, you can always take the bus. Opposite the Boon Keng MRT station, you can also find the Bendemeer Market and Food Center for more amenities. If you are driving, this location is also convenient if you work in the CBD area. In fact, according to GoDaddy, it should take you less than 10 minutes to drive from this BTO site to downtown. Given the location, I think it'll be relatively easy to either sell the flat or rent out rooms if that's what you want. For parents, there are a good amount of schooling options around the area. Hong Wen Primary School is just next door. You also have Bendemeer Primary and Secondary Schools nearby, so you have some options within the 2-kilometer radius. Now, let's look at the site plan. There's an expressway nearby, but the architect already tried to put some distance by placing the multi-story car park in between. So hopefully it's not too noisy for the housing units. There's only one block, so it's a matter of choosing which stack. For stack 105 and 107, if you want to get an unblocked view, you need to pick a unit above level 28. But for stack 119, as the next door building is not as high, you can get an unblocked view as long as you are above level 12. If you want to be further away from the expressway, pick stack 107 or 119. Since there's only one block, all stacks are outward facing. Certain units may be affected by the west sun, but not directly. Watch out that there's multi-story car park here, so if your options are limited, try to get a unit at least higher than the top of the car park. In terms of lifts, 10 units will be sharing 6 lifts, so it's still decent. There will also be a preschool and an eating house within the cluster, so this is convenient for the residents. Okay, let's do a quick recap. What I like about this project is that the location is quite convenient if you work in the CBD area. In fact, according to GoDare, it should take you less than 10 minutes to drive from this BTO site to downtown. Boon Keng MRT is not so close, but it is still within walking distance, but just spare a little bit more time. Judging from the statistics, this project also has an amazing profit potential, even better than Crawford Heights. There should be a consistent high demand, regardless whether you want to sell the flat or just rent out rooms. For parents, there are still some schooling options around the area. Hongwon Primary School is just next door, and you also have Bendemeer Primary and Secondary Schools nearby, so you do have some options within the 2-kilometer radius. Okay, now let's talk about what are the things that I don't like about this project. The first downside is, obviously, it comes with plus HDB restrictions, which means it will come with more restrictions such as a 10-year MOP, subsidy clawback upon resale, and the inability to rent out the whole flat even after MOP, etc. Your future potential buyers are also greatly reduced because there is an income ceiling for the future resale flat buyers, and PR couples cannot buy because there has to be at least one Singaporean, etc. Another downside, well, the site is next to an expressway, which means it will be dusty and noisy, so hopefully you will get a good queue number that allows you to pick a flat that does not face the expressway directly. The flat type offered in this project is also limited because it only has 2-room flexi and a 4-room flat, but there's no 3-room or 5-room flat here. If you want to know more about other projects, check out my other videos in this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!